Feeling pretty psyched. Where did I put the frackin' lighter? Here it is. I am psyched for this one. Welcome back to the end of the beginning of the end. Brought to you by nobody. Batteries not included. It's in the evening time, and normally sativas for the day, but I figured I'd finish this bowl that I had yesterday, or the day before. Super lemon haze. Oh, jeez. The 2 of the 4 CRSs I collected today are just off the charts. The island's not through with you yet, Desmond. Eloise Hawking. So you think the end and the beginning are connected, do you? You think they're not related? We're going to read chapter 3 of Ramtha's White Book. We got Dwindling Light. Ramtha's White Book, chapter 3, begins with this. It's called When You Were My People. And it goes, what is ascension? Taking all that I am into eternity like the wind. If I listened to man entity, I would have perished in that life. Everyone here perishes, for they know they are going to. And everyone here lives for the opinions of everyone else. What a folly. I learned to love myself when I compare myself to something great and majestic. Whatever a man in his being contemplates himself upon, he will become it, for he is the God hidden behind the mask of mankind. Person and person, the word person comes from persona, Latin, for mask. That's what persona, personality is. It's the front. It's the surface. And as Alvin Boyd Kuhn points out, what the alphabet and all of the Bibles, all of the scriptors, our sacred writings are about one event. One happening, and that's incarnation. Your incarnation. Yeah. It's about the soul going from 12 o'clock, the Most High of El God, of the El Light, of the Singel, the singing light of God, the sound of the A, B, Alpha, Beta, to the M, N. M is the 13th letter down the middle. A to M. A-M, I am. The water. The M is the Phoenician Mem. The A-B is the Father Fire. Abram. I read the entire esoteric structure of the alphabet by Alvin Boyd Kuhn out loud on the record. You can watch all of that. And you can read along and discover the amazing thing he's pointing out is that from A to B is the father. A to B to M and N in the middle is from the souls going from the fire of the Father Spirit to the water of Mother Matter, of water, of terra, earth. Don't you think it's curious, the situation we have in the world where you have these religions that are actually just creeds, just systems of I believe, and then that's it, and then go be worldly for the rest of the week. Come back next Sunday, because we're the experts in God. We'll tell you what to think about God. Instead of, oh wait, there's the teachers in the book is saying that God's within you, and that you and your true identity unmasked, the mask of the personality of the face of the front, are one with this divine creator, the Father, the A-B, alphabet, Aleph Beth, in Phoenician with the phonetics. And then from M to N, the water, the fire of the Father Spirit above, A-B-O-V-E, meeting the matter, water, bellow, making the s, the hiss sound, right? The S. Number 19. S-T-Q-R-S-T-U, Christ. L-M-N, L-M-N, lumen, light. The light of Abracadabra, the father of the fire of the first. Primal, primary, primordial, prime ordinal. Ordinance, order, Orion, Osiris, Osirius, Sirius, Isis, star, Ishtar, Easter, Esther, Oyster, Hathor, Mamarea, Maria, matter, the father 12, the mother 6, born in 6, not sin, born in the sine wave of the sun on the ecliptic, which is all, see this heel where our feet are on the ground, the G round of the spiral ritual, spear ritual, with its sacrifices, its decapitations of Capricorn at the kneecaps, of needs, of kneeling, praying to Ra, of Capricorn, Ray, and then from M to N to QRSTUVWXYZ, the climb, the ascension back to the Father, from the Father to the Mother, back to the Father, and then around in an eternal circle, sphere, the beginning and the ending looping back, because guess what? There is no, the lines are defined by the sphere, which is really the only shape. Look at a square. It's 4 right angles, 90 degrees, 4 times 90, 360. 369 of the feminine. 369. The V, alley, of all. Alpha, all. L, Phoenician, phonetics, Canaanite, Hebrew, Paleo, Hebrew. 52-week year. The word create equals 52 in English gematria. And Pope equals 52. So does, oh yeah, door. D is 4, O is 15, twice 30, 4 plus 18. 52. 5 and 2, 7. G-O-D equals 26, which is half of 52. G-O-D, G-O-D. The gods who are the God. The one that goes up and the one that goes down. From the Father down to the Mother, from the summer down to the winter, through the evening of Eve at Libra, evening at 9 o'clock of the feminine, of balance and justice, of the 3 trimesters of 9 months before birth, or 9 moons. And today the moon is waxing crescent. The woman who gave me this, I shopped today at the store, Martha M. Bergeron. If you want to get a copy of one of these, here's her address. It's marthabergeron. Etsy, I'm sorry. Martha Bergeron at Etsy, ETSY.com. Martha Mary Quite Contrary at in memory of Joseph Wheelwright. So today is June, Saturn's Day, which they have on, which now is regarded as the 7th day, which would originally be the 6th day, is the 8th, and the moon is waxing crescent, will be half on the 10th. Here we are at the 8th. The moon has been waxing on since the 3rd new moon. Waxing crescent, and waxing is when the moon is getting brighter and going to fuller each day. Will be half soon on the 10th, which is Moon's Day, Sun's Day and Moon's Day, Sunday and Monday. Tuesday is Mars Day, Wednesday is Odin's Day, or Mercury, Hermes Day of Hermeticism, or occult science, or mystical hidden magical science of magnetism. Thor's day, Thursday, Jupiter, Zeus. Zeus. Frau's day, Friday, Frigg, Freya. And then Saturn's day, which is what today is. Originally it was the 6th day, and Sun's day would be 7th, the Sun in the crown position. But Saturn is now actually the crown here, or you could look at 7 as the lesser or the greater or both, you see, because what they're doing here by making the Sun and Saturn the beginning and end is, very interesting when you think about it. S and S, the only two S sound days, and the alliteration of the names of the gods, days, deities, D-A-Y and D-E-I in Latin. You think that's an accident? Oh my God. The hardest thing to do. Making your own kind of music is the hardest thing to do. Really is. Because it really means completely cutting the cord with others' perceptions and judgments. Putting the group mind over your own. And not realizing what you're doing when you're doing that. That's what everyone is trained to do. To be like. It's really incredible, and I can't believe when I look at the scale and what humanity is going through, what the world is, it's like, and it's all ultimately, look at this stuff, right? It's all in the context of this flat screen reality, 2D, rather than the 3. That's why this is ending. And I'm, it's like, this is why I never felt like I was telling people that I was going to go into the entertainment business and performing arts. I was going to be a stand-up comedian in high school after the comedy sketches I did, and never pursued it. Because ultimately, I ask myself, is this my beautiful house? This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful... You may ask yourself, because ultimately, how I feel about all of the media, the performing arts in general, and what's going on in the world, what humanity's become. Nun on Perry's convent by She Has Blood on Her Hands. Paltrow defends unorthodox living situation. Inside Chris and Catherine's wedding. Why should she have to defend her unorthodox living situation? U.S. women chase title, fight for equality at same time. Italy delivers first upset of World Cup. All this newly restored 19th century German ship sinks after collision. See, this is all a weapon of mass distraction in MK Ultra. All of this tan mom hospitalized in critical condition. So refreshing, says hiker missing for 6 days after first sip of water. There's obviously real things here, right? But it's the context of all of this, and combined with the television and the phones. I got a laptop here, and I barely, if ever, used the phone for the internet, and I stayed away from having one of these for up until last year. I held out for quite a long time, and I had one for one day at one point, in 2015 or something, and it was like, I'm just rambling with you right now, because it's I can, but I was going to do something else. John Lennon quotes. John Lennon quote. We live in a world where John Lennon, we live in a world where we have to hide to make love while violence is practiced in broad daylight. The more real you get, the more unreal the world gets. It's weird not to be weird. These are all John Lennon. There's one particularly one that I wanted to... God, press one wrong button. Our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. I think we're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends, and I think I'm liable to be put away as insane for expressing that. That's what's insane about it. John Lennon. Let me repeat that. Our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. I think we're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends, and I think I'm liable to be put away as insane for expressing that. Why do you think he thought that? Because he knew. He was at the top, for crying out loud. And then he gets shot in 1980 in New York City. Just 17 years after John F. Kennedy had his head blown off in broad daylight at high noon. Obviously a ritual in DLA Plaza of the Freemasons, first Masonic temple right there, and it's shaped like look up the shape of the Freemasonic temple, and it's the same as what you see on the back of the $1 bill with the truncated pyramid, symbolizing the unfinished work, with the all-seeing eye of Ra or Horus on top in the light of truth. Everybody's talking and no one says a word. Everybody's making love and no one really cares. There's Nazis in the bathroom just below the stairs. Always something happening and nothing going on. There's always something cooking and nothing in the pot. They're starving back in China, so finish what you've got. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed. Strange days indeed. Everybody's running and no one makes a move. Everyone's a winner and nothing left to lose. There's a little yellow island to the north of Kathmandu. Everybody's flying and no one leaves the ground. Everybody's crying and no one makes a sound. There's a place for us in the movies, you just gotta lay around. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed. Most peculiar, mama. Everybody's smoking and no one's getting high. Everybody's flying and never touch the sky. There's UFOs over New York and I ain't too surprised. Nope. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed. Most peculiar, mama. One more, I guess, right? If I could turn the page in time, then I'd rearrange just a day or two. But I couldn't find a way, so I'll settle for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Although I'm not making plans, I hope that you understand there's a reason why. Close your eyes. No more broken hearts. We're better off apart. Let's give it a try. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. If I could turn the page in time, then I'd rearrange just a day or two. But I couldn't find a way, so I'll settle for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, you can't disguise. you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Alright, CRS time. You can't disguise, y'all. Face it. You are what you are. If you want full access to your consciousness, instead of just 1/3 of the herd, well, stop thinking the herd's thoughts. Battery's running out just in a nick of time. Stop thinking the herd's thoughts. You know, please just give it a shot. Give it a try, you know? Because what's happening is that George Orwell's nightmare is at the doorstep. Unfortunately, and all that shit that came out in Room 237 and 2001, 9/11, A Space Odyssey, and, you know, Amber, Fringe, and Lost, and The Man Who Fell to Earth, and Valis, and the interconnecting synchronistic epic of the whole frickin' thing, of the Hollywood, of abracadabra, the magic wand, of the wizard, the wise sword, ward, is coming to the pinnacle, and it's coming to a theater near you. You're not going to be able to hide anymore from the fascist, tyrannical juggernaut of the military police control crackdown of the US and the world, and the thought police, the reality of thought police is upon us. So room 237 is the moon room, and it's 23/7. 23 is all about the Jim Carrey scenario of Andy and me and Man on the Moon and the whole thing of the moon room, the Alice in Wonderland wild odyssey of the synchronistic epic of your culture, of Hollywood, which is the wood of the holly tree made of the druid priest's wand, which is where we get the magic wand of, you know, and look at all the symbolism of magic associated with movies, Mickey Mouse and the Fantasia and all this, you know, oh my goodness, abracadabra, A-B-ra, cadabra, abracadaver, cadaver, the death, the covert death ritual, you know, it's they veil it and mask it as entertainment, as innocent. There's absolutely nothing innocent about any of these corporations or corporations and their agendas, Disney especially. It's obvious, evident. There's been a concerted effort ongoing through all of our known history of keeping us imprisoned in a mental prison, prison for the mind, a matrix, a cave, Plato's cave, that allegory and the origins of philosophy, philosophia, love of wisdom in Greek, tell us all we need to know. Really. So the 237 is big, and it was right up in my face today. And the room 23 in Lost with the same mind control associations, and that was cross-referencing another Kubrick film, A Clockwork Orange, with the mind control. The 2, 3, and the 7, 23, 7, which reduces to 12 and comes back to 3, which is what the whole mystery is about. 23, 20 tree, 2 trees, the 2 pillars of the sun and the moon, Jacques and Boaz, the 2 towers, the twin peaks, the twin pines, the 2 trees, the pair of L's, the parallel lines of black and white, of duality, of day and night, deity. So look at this, 23 items, right? But look at the subtotal, 8237, invoice number 2387, 2387, 8237, the subtotal, same numbers. 8237, 237 with an 8, room 237, and then 2387 here. and then the 88 here of 8287 in the purchases total before the 50-cent tax. What name equals 50? Well, Donald equals 50 in English gematria. As in 50-50. Don Eld, old Don. The elder, alder, tree. Do you see how it all comes back to the mystery? And then so that, there was that one with the 237, and then this one, 2317, invoice number 3274. 3274, and then the time, 2:37 p.m., room 2:37 p.m. And then the 2317 total. 237 twice. The first one was at 3:24 p.m. 324, and the reason I noticed this one was because I had been staring right at the screen with it being 3:23 p.m. with the 23 items as the credit card payment was going through. And people ask me, how do you notice that? I mean, how does one notice anything? You put your attention on it. It's like, how did you... Like, is it because it seems to me like what I've gathered is something really dark, like connected to the Matrix, and from my experience being a servant of the public, is that they wouldn't want you calling yourself that servant anymore, right? But that's what it is. It's service, right? Yes, of course. It's like the mentality of the general public, so much of the general public, especially I think ones who don't work service jobs themselves, is that the people who are doing the jobs are like, they're animals, like they're not even capable of like any kind of critical intelligence, let alone maybe some kind of genius or whatever, what they would probably call like a savant. Just, someone who's got some ability or whatever that's, not polished and not academic, with the credentials and all this bullshit, the freaking degrees. You think maybe going for these degrees does something to scrambles people's circuits while in the process and makes it so they can't, there's nothing they're ever, why do you think things just keep getting worse, right? That's just, and yet you have all these so-called bright people in high places, yet, wherever we're in a dying biosphere, Maybe they're not so smart actually, huh? Could that be? This one, the person left this behind, said, oh, I didn't need the receipt. 716, 1 and 6 is 7, so 7, 7. And then the 23 in the time. Of course, see the distance between 77 and 100 is 23. The 23rd, so the 23rd hour of the day is 11 p.m., which is the witching hour, the hour of the witch rituals, of sacrifice, of occult witch ritual sacrifice of Wicca. For the ancient hidden practitioners, I'm not talking about, your friend who has an altar, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about ancient diabolical ritualism that's dark occultism. All ritualism generally is, not where it's at for getting on fast track to your own illumination and using all of your own consciousness, accessing that beyond the 1/3 of the socially sanctioned consciousness, of social approval and acceptance, limitation itself. That's the Plato's cave, the matrix, the prison for your mind. It's culturally and conditioned brainwashing. 6666, Ed gave me this at 155, 18 items. 666 equals 18, 6 times 3, 55, and the store number 506 of the matrix. We're running out of daylight, so we got to get a move on with Ramtha, don't we? What is ascension? Okay, let's go. This chapter is called When You Were My People. We'll get as far as we can. It's the beginning of the ending, after all. which is nothing more than the ending of the beginning. When many of you were my people long ago, we crossed great continents together and laid siege on notorious tyrants, and through all the heavy battles, long marches, unknown countries, threatening seas, and blistering storms, did all of you gain the prize of freedom, a freedom that you had at the end of the march only because you had crossed the borders of your greatest terrors and were still alive to reach a new homeland? When you reached it, so fearless were you, so courageous were you, so tired were you, that home became the planting of seeds in the fields, the harvesting of food, and the raising of children and animals, because peace is the result when one has conquered his greatest fears. So all that you had gained by the end of your march was well worth the journey, far away from your homeland into a new dimension of understanding. When I was ready to leave, you were planting your seeds and having your children, building your hovels and plowing the land, enjoying good food and a sweet morning and a peaceful night. That was your destiny, for that was your desire fulfilled. That was your reward. You were betting your new lives, and it was time for me to go to my life. For what you were gaining in your understanding of peace was only contentment to me. But that which I was going to, which was my home, was the great elusive unknown God, the grand mystery that caused all things to occur. The morning of my leaving was a wondrous day, and a grand but short farewell. You had little ones to care for, fields to tend, and cattle to look after, and I went unto my Father, whom I sought after all my life, and found in a wondrous place of understanding. That indeed was my destiny, because I desired no other destiny. Each of you has returned to live here, life after life after life after life, and through each of those lives you have gained and progressed greatly in your understanding. Now many of you are wanting to know. Now you are searching for the understanding that I hungered for and found. You have had your homes. You have passed your valuable seed onto the world. You have had all the learnings, all the experiences. Now you are ready to learn what you could not learn before because your priorities were different then. So for the love of you and all mankind, have I come back to teach you, as I promised I would long, long ago. And I will teach you as a grand teacher indeed, but I expect you to do only what you feel is right. That is all. I have not returned to tell you of the splendor that lies beyond this place, but to help you see it for yourselves, and not through philosophical understandings, but through teachings that ring so blatantly true within you that your soul urges you to become the divine principle you had forgotten long ago. And for you to continue as a race of entities in this form, it is most important that you learn of your own divinity as well as everyone else's. Through the power of my being and for the love of your being, I will teach you, as I taught myself, how to return to your greatness and your glory. And in your joy, I will laugh with you. And when you weep, I will send a wind to dry your tears. Through this teaching, you will learn to become the sovereign that you were in all your glory when you began this remarkable journey. You will learn to listen solely to the voice within you and to follow only the path of joy. You will learn how to feel profoundly so that you gain the truest treasure of this plane, emotion. And you will come to love yourself so grandly that no matter who stands before you, you will find God in them, as you have found it in yourself. And you will love them as deeply as you have learned to love yourself. Then you, who have taught yourself so eloquently, will be a brilliant light to the world, only because you are a radiant example of the love of self. Now, this teaching is not a religious understanding, for religion is dogmatic, restrictive, and very judgmental. I am not a teacher of religion, for it has brought great division and great hurt to this plane. This teaching is simply knowledge. It is learning. It is experience. It is love. I will love you into knowing God and becoming the unlimitedness that God is. This teaching is lawless. It possesses no laws, for law is a limitation that obstructs freedom. I will teach you of nothing but God and options. I am here to open the doors to greater knowledge so that you realize your options for living upon this plane. So you realize that your life is not limited to this plane, for life exists on other planes and in many other places. I am here to help you who are enslaved by fear, entrapped by your own thought processes, to begin to see a new vista of unlimited thinking, unlimited purpose, unlimited life. That I will teach you this day, to whatever point you want to receive it, to whatever point you wish to live it. I am going to lead you from your cloistered self back into your own greatness, and that which is within you, which is called the lamp within, shall be lit brighter. I ask of you nothing other than to be yourself, but most here do not know who self is. I will teach you how to find it again, and when found, you will never let go of it again. Then no one will need to teach you thereafter. Then you are sovereign in your own truth and free to live according to your own designs. I have chosen to come back to you through the embodiment of a woman who was my beloved daughter in my times. When I was upon your plane, I married not any woman, but on my march many entities gave me their children as a gift of appreciation. There were cheesemakers who gave me cheese, and winemakers who gave me wine, and there were those whose greatest prize was their children, and they gave them to the house of Ram. For an entity who had never lain with a woman, I had more children than anyone I knew, and the children were great teachers for me, for in their innocence and purity of spirit, children have a very simple truth. My daughter was one of these children, and this child I loved greatly. The little girl did not want to be a little girl. She wanted to be a warrior. Being a woman, and weaving, and doing womanish things did not appeal to her. She never really understood war until a long time later, but the entity loved me dearly, and she wanted nothing more than to learn, and that I admired. On the day of my ascension, I promised my daughter that I would return, though she knew not where I was going. I charged her to go to the land called Turk, where she lived out her days waiting for me to come back. I never did. My daughter has lived many lives and has been burned and beheaded and starved for what she knew to be a truth. Through all of those lives, she has emerged to be a noble creature who lives what she is humbly. It is because of that humility that I have been able to return through her to remind her of the heritage that she and you forgot long ago. This is her service to the world, and to her as to you, I have fulfilled my word. I came to my daughter in the midst of her life at a time when such unexpected things do not occur, because she was prim and proper and innocent, and did not venture into extraordinary beliefs. I chose her for this service and taught her for a long time what I am teaching you. Through knowledge and learning we began this work together, at first to be unannounced in your marketplace, in order that it might grow one by one. I have chosen to speak with you in this fashion because you are all prone to worship the images of others and exalt them above yourselves. So for those who come into my audience, I have no body to worship nor feet to kiss. And my daughter will not allow you to do it to hers, for they are her feet after all. When you leave my audience, you will have no image by which you can remember me, and no picture that you can dangle around your neck, put upon your wall, or carve into stone. For what is being taught here is not to worship me, but to wholly worship and love what you are, and this wonderful essence that lies latent within you, called God Almighty. I am no different than you are. There is no one, seen or unseen, who can ever be greater than you, and there is no one who can ever be less than you. All are equal in the kingdom of God. Those of you who desire to follow and worship, or to do more outside of yourselves than within yourselves, I wish you to know that I am not what you are searching for. I am here to help you become sovereign in your own truth, in your own understanding. As long as you serve or worship or devote yourselves to anything outside of yourselves, you will never express the sublime beauty that you are, nor will you ever become truly free. Only you can be your greatest lover. Only you can be your greatest friend and teacher. There is no voice. There is no voice that will ever teach you greater than your own. There is no word within. There is no